It's Nicky D, and welcome back to the Nicky D channel. We haven't gone over any NXT videos in the last few weeks, so I figured this would be the perfect time to do one. So today, I'm going to be doing my top 10 favorite NXT superstars of all time. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button, because it really helps out the channel grow. Other than that, let's get to it. Tony DAngelo. Tony DAngelo is the Don at NXT, and when he started, he was the leader of the DAngelo family. He quickly feuded with Legado del Fantasma before they got called up to the main roster, and just recently won the NXT Tag Team titles with Stacks Channing Tatum by defeating Gallus. He lost those titles a few months down the road when the 2024 Dusty Cup Finals winners ended up beating them. We'll get to that later on for the titles. Tony DAngelo is still currently in NXT, and hopefully he gets called up to the main roster where we see the DAngelo family be the dawn of WWE. Number 9, Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne won the NXT UK title in 2017 by defeating Tyler Bate. He held the belt for almost 2 years before losing the title to Walter in 2019. After holding the belt for 685 days, Pete Dunne is a wonderful technical wrestler, and he really focuses on joint manipulation. One of the craziest things about watching Pete Dunne fight is how cringy it gets when he starts to break his opponent's fingers in directions they're not supposed to go. Pete Dunne started the King of NXT as he feuded with the Undisputed Era, and now is teamed up with Tyler Bate on the main roster as part of the New Catch Republic. Number 8, Tomaso Ciampa. Tomaso Ciampa formed DIY when he started in NXT in 2015. Him and Gargano won the NXT Tag Team titles from the Revival and held them for a little while. He ended up feuding with Gargano twice, but he ended up winning the NXT title twice, which is more important. When he had the NXT title, he referred to it as Goldie and was crazy and psychotic and would not separate himself from Goldie for anything. After about 6-7 years in NXT, he ended up coming up to the main roster, where now he is teamed up with Gargano as DIY. Number 7, Johnny Gargano. And here's the other member of DIY, signed in 2015 with Ciampa. They ended up winning the NXT Tag Team titles. Then Johnny Gargano won the NXT title from Adam Cole. He held it for 57 days, and in 2022 ended up forming the Way with his wife Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell, and Dexter Lumis. For about 6 or 7 years, Johnny Gargano was considered Johnny Wrestling on NXT. Nowadays, he's on the main roster with Tomaso Ciampa as DIY. Number 6, Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes debuted in 2021 and won the NXT North American title. He held it for 172 days and won it back and held it for a second time for 101 days. And then at Stand and Deliver in 2023, he won the NXT title from Braun Breaker and held it for 182 days before losing it to Ilya Dragunov. Carmelo Hayes is now a 2-time NXT North American champion and a former NXT champion known as him. Carmelo Hayes is still in NXT, and hopefully in the next couple of months he'll come up to the main roster. Number 5, Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker debuted in 2021 and quickly won the NXT title from Tomaso Ciampa. He held it for 63 days before losing it to Dolph Ziggler. Then, about a month or so later, he won back the NXT title from Dolph Ziggler on the Raw after Stand and Deliver in 2022. Braun Breaker then held the belt for 362 days before losing it, like we said, on Carmelo Hayes at Stand and Deliver 23 to Carmelo Hayes. Recently, Braun Breaker won the 2024 Dusty Cup with Baron Corbin, the NXT Tag Team titles, and held them for a few weeks. Now, Braun Breaker is on SmackDown, wreaking havoc like the beast that he is. Number 4, Adam Cole, baby. Adam Cole debuted with the Undisputed Era in 2017. The Undisputed Era then immediately went on and won the 2017 War Games, as Adam Cole, soon after that, won his first North American Championship, which he held for 133 days. At NXT TakeOver New York, he won the NXT title from Johnny Gargano and held it hostage. Adam Cole was NXT champion for over a year, and he has the longest ever title reign as NXT champion at 403 days that still stands today. As Adam Cole in 2021 parted ways with WWE, he still, in my opinion, was my 4th favorite NXT superstar of all time. Number 3, whoop that trick, Trick Williams. Trick Williams debuted in 2021 and formed Trick Mello Gang with Carmelo Hayes. Trick Williams won the NXT North American title from Dirty Dominic Mysterio, but held it for a record-setting 3 days. Trick Williams lost the title on the NXT after the pay-per-view that he won it at, and then went on to feud with Ilya Dragunov for the NXT title. Trick Williams was the 2023 Men's Iron Survivor Challenge by getting 4 pinfalls in the final minute of the match to win by 1. One of the greatest comebacks that probably will ever happen in a Men's Iron Survivor Challenge, which is one of the reasons why he's so high on this list. Trick Williams then got betrayed by Carmelo Hayes after losing to Ilya Dragunov for the NXT Championship. Trick Williams right now is out on injury, but he's still signed to the NXT roster. Hopefully, he'll make a return at Stand and Deliver. Number 2, Big E Langston. Big E Langston debuted in 2012, and one of my favorite things about Big E Langston was to prove that he was so much better than the entire field. Instead of pinning his opponents to the mat for a count of 3, he pinned his opponents to the mat for a count of 5. Big E Langston went on to win the NXT title from Seth Rollins, and Big E held the title for 155 days. 3 months later, Big E Langston made his debut on the main roster and attacked John Cena and was announced as Dolph Ziggler's bodyguard. What Big E Langston did in NXT was flat out dominance. Dominance that only one other man has been. And number 1, Walter, the Ring General. The only other man in NXT history that I can confidently say was more dominant than the Big E Langston run from NXT. He debuted in 2019 and quickly won the NXT UK title from Pete Dunn at NXT TakeOver New York. Walter defended the title everywhere, and he held the belt for over 2 years. He finally lost the belt to Ilya Dragunov at NXT TakeOver 36, and Walter held the NXT North UK Championship for a record 870 days. Walter, since then, has held the Intercontinental Championship for over 600 days on the main roster. And that was my top 10 favorite NXT superstars of all time. Who's your favorite NXT superstar of all time? Let me know down in the comment section below. Go check out my YouTube short series, or go click on another one of my videos. That's a great idea to pass some time and get to know me a bit better. Other than that, smash that subscribe button because it helps out the channel a lot more than you know. And have yourselves a wonderful day. Bye, y'all.